Good morning. Welcome, everybody. We're just giving everyone a couple of minutes until they can come in. Yeah, so just give us a minute. Okay, team, are we good to go?
Yes, but we don't see the presentation.
Yeah, okay. Is
Yeah.
it now? Can you see it?
Yep.
Okay, great. So, welcome everybody to MMA Beyond the Awards winning campaigns. We're here to explain a little bit about what makes for a strong campaign within the MMA Smarties Awards. And we're leading up to the KSA Awards, which are accepting submissions right now. And yeah, we're going to open the floor for Q&A at the end of the presentation. So please jot down your questions and we'll take them at the end in a live session. Let me introduce MMA a little bit to you guys before we start about the Smarties. MMA is a nonprofit organization that has been brought together by CMOs for CMOs to basically upgrade the knowledge of the marketing industry with what's latest in technology and how does that affect the industry body. We arm leaders with groundbreaking insights and models that are innovative, evidence-based, scalable, and repeatable. The most important of which is its science factual results that we usually bring as tools to the CMOs. We have more than 830 members worldwide. We have 15 global companies and we operate in 15 countries across the globe. We have more than 300,000 marketers within our database, out of which 145 sit on our CMO boards globally. And we have more than 50 sitting on just the global board and North America board. Why are we founded? What is the sole reason that MMA is there? It's basically to advance marketers' ability to create value by transforming marketers and marketing, supporting them on how they can unlock greater impact from marketing. So growing marketing's knowledge and capabilities, growing marketing's impact and importance within a company, and leveraging marketing to drive sales and profit. We function through our boards. So this is our MENA and KSA board in the region. These are the companies that they represent. And basically, the members are the ones driving what needs to be done in terms of where is the market, where is it headed, what are the tools that are available, and how can the CMOs take advantage of these tools to advance their marketing efforts. About Smarties, it is basically an award that is different to all the awards that are out there in the market. So everyone always asks, what's, Smarties versus FEs versus Athar versus Dubai Links. The main differentiator that we have is we look at creativity, we look at efficiency, but we also look at how was the technology that was embedded in that campaign changing the results of that campaign. So technology is at the heart of a Smarties award. So keeping that in mind, we're going to be talking a lot about what to do, what not to do, and how to highlight and what to highlight when you're applying for a Smarties award. We operate globally, spanning 4 regions and 17 countries. In the Middle East, our first Smarties MENA award happened in 2017, but for Saudi, this is our second year for the for the Smarties KSA Awards. Why? should you go for a Smarties? Obviously, there's always the prestige of a Smarties recognition. For any CMO out there looking for um, who to up who to go to when they want to create campaigns that are technology centric, the Smarties Award is the most telling in terms of when you win a Smarties Award, it means yes, you've done great creative, yes, you've got great results, but more importantly, you've used technology and leveraged it to create a winning campaign. So it's always, I mean, this is why it's gaining so much traction, because it doesn't just answer one side of the marketing mix. It answers all three, and it brings it together to create a real reputation of I can, as an agency or as a brand marketer, create real value for my clients or for my company on the level of leveraging technology and using it in my campaigns in a way that makes it win. So obviously we get 100%, 100 global rankings on WARC. So Smarties winning campaigns are featured in WARC's 100 global rankings, highlighting the most awarded campaigns and companies in media effectiveness. The inclusion underscores a campaign's strategic excellence and creative prowess. We get also RECMA scoring. The research company evaluating the media agency industry, RECMA, incorporates Smarties winners to its media agency evaluations. This scoring enhances an agency's reputation, reflecting its capability to deliver more impactful marketing solutions. So it is definitely about being put on the international scene as a viable agency when it comes to creativity, strategy, efficiency, as well as technology. Um, why should you participate? Like it's beyond just having an award sitting on in the agency. When people walk in, they see it and everything, but it's really to showcase how you are a market leader in your market. So showcasing innovation and expertise, creating networking and industry connections that come through being an award winner. It's a definite catalyst for growth. We have that as feedback from our winning agencies all the time, telling us how much the award changed the way people look at them and respond to them when they say we are a Smarties Award winner. And obviously learning and inspiration. So learning from other campaigns, getting inspired by how other companies work and how other agencies implement their winning campaigns is also eye-opening for the whole industry. Um, so we have 27 categories for Smarties KSA. We're going to go through them quickly here. So we have the purpose-driven marketing, we have brand purpose, activism, social impact marketing, and diversity and inclusion. These are the heart, I think, of the awards usually. We have impact media, which includes omni-channel marketing, cross-digital media marketing, social media marketing, creator, influencer, celebrity marketing, as well as gaming, gamification, and esports marketing. We have marketing impact. This is usually the one that gets the most submissions. So we have brand experience, instant impact and promotion, customer journey marketing, lead generation CRM, product and or service launch, real-time marketing, small budget, big impact. These are some of our categories. Then we have under creative, the customer CX, user experience and design, personalization, and short or long form video. Then we have the e-commerce marketing, integrated e-commerce innovation and live streaming. This is usually one of the most straightforward ones, but don't get as much submissions as it should. So we encourage you to look into this a bit more closely. O2O, retail media, innovative and new tech sales channels. Emerging tech market, so data insights and contextual marketing. Connected TV, performance marketing, Web 3.0 technologies marketing. Then we have the industry awards. The industry awards are basically a combination of the awards that have been awarded in each segment. So this is not something that is judged or nominated. These are basically, you get different points for the different amounts of awards you got, and that's how we identify the industry awards. So each gold award gives you 3 points, each silver award gives you 2 points, and each bronze award gives you 1 point. And the ones that gather the most points are the ones that get the industry awards. We also have AI in marketing. So we have AI-powered audience engagement, innovative use of AI in advertising, and AI-driven creative excellence. It's very important. We've put this separately because AI is still talked about and used in a gimmicky way. This has changed in the last Smarties. In MENA, we saw real adoption of AI, and we need to make sure that the submissions that are coming into this category really do use AI. So AI has to be at the heart of the subject here, and at the heart of the video, at the heart of the case study. It cannot just be like, and we used AI to do something small on the side, or, So we're highlighting here how important the AI marketing is to have real AI application within. One of the most important parts, and if you're going to take anything away from this presentation today, please let this be it. Submitting within the right category is everything. Because when it gets to the pre-screening, and especially when it gets to the final jury, if it is not in the right category, it is, even if it got a lot of high points from pre-screeners because they liked the campaign, it was really good, it answered a lot of things, but it didn't answer the category's description, it does get disqualified. So we have created a very important tool for all of our submitters, and you all can get access to it through Smarties. So we will be sending this presentation in a PDF format where you can, like a booklet format, where you can actually print it out and present it internally to your teams. But if you go to our Smarties global website, MMA global website, and you go into Smarties, you would come into this, which is a Smarties coach, your AI-powered mentor for the MMA Smarties Awards. Once you press Explore Now, it takes you to ChatGPT. And you can ask it anything. Let me just actually close this and go in again, because this is what you can usually do. You can feed it here, feed the case study to the coach, and then you can ask it to suggest a category for the campaign. And this will do a better job than me, Zeynep, Melike, Melis, whoever you know from the MMA. ChatGPT will actually tell you what is the right category to submit within. Okay, you can ask it about the categories, you can ask it to help you improve your submission, and you can ask it to explain the judging criteria for that category, because in different categories we have different weightage of what's important in that category. So like in AI, the use of technology would have the highest weighting on the points. So please make sure you use this tool for category selection, for category insights, submission guidance, sorry, and personalized recommendations. It's really built completely for the people who are submitting to make their life a bit easier in terms of being specific to the Smarties Awards, not just any awards. Because if you just enter it into a normal chat GPT, it would go on generic awards. This is very specifically designed for the Smarties Awards. How to use it. Make sure that the campaign details are quite well understood, so that it's like explaining it. The prompts are so important when you come to AI answering things for you. So provide as much detail as possible. Receive a tailored category recommendation. The GPT will recommends the most suitable category based on data, fit, and opportunity. Get end-to-end submission guide. So from structure to standards, it helps you align every section with what the judges actually expect and what do they historically they've judged well or gave higher points for. Access essential resources, quickly retrieve the latest submission guide from form template and judging criteria. And you can ask it very targeted questions, whether you're unsure about fee deadlines, entry rules, creative format, just ask it and it will be your co-pilot in crafting a stand-up submission. Please, please, please use it before no matter how sure you are of your submission, make sure that you align the with the Smarties chat GPT, with the Smarties coach. Okay, so where does the winning actually start? This is a very important question. It is the video. We live in a visual world. A lot of our pre-screener judges and final judges are subjected to go through um, so many case studies and videos that they will not have time to go into it deeply unless you make a first impression with your video. So the video is the most, it's your first point of contact with the judges. And an unclear video gets questioned or gets discarded, actually, more than questioned. Sometimes, some pre-screeners will take the time and read the case studies so detailed that they would put it through to the screen to the final judges, but the final judges, they watch only they don't have time to go through the whole thing on the day of judging. So we usually ask to play the video again. We play the video. And if the video becomes compelling enough, then they start looking in the case study. Okay, so the first point of contact is your video, and you have to make it clear, you have to make it relevant, and you have to make it speak to the audience. So if you're submitting one campaign in more than one category, if you can adjust small points within the video so that it answers the category, that would be ideal. But definitely in the case study, you have to do that. I mean, it's not even an option. And the ones who think that one case study can fit all of their submissions, unfortunately, lose credibility when it comes to the final judging day. So customize it for category for sure. Clarity, the most important part of it. Make it interesting. Boring videos do not gain anyone's attention. Even if it's a great campaign, and we've seen that more than once, if the video doesn't communicate the brand voice, the brand feeling, if you don't get a taste of what the customer got, it's not as compelling. Okay, so clearly outline your objectives, your strategy, and most critically, the results. Use benchmarks or historical comparisons to highlight how successful your campaign was. Entries without measurable outcomes rarely score high, seriously. And we'll talk about the don'ts in a minute, but this is the do's. Make it, your video is basically, if you're going to a party and people are going to see what you look like before you talk and dance and become the life of the party, it's, will they gain attention? Context is critical. Don't drop raw numbers. Explain what they mean. So imagine you're telling someone a story. If you just tell them, you know, it happened at night versus like the night was a starry night, it was a thunder filled night, you need to give the emotions behind those numbers. What do they mean? Reference third party validation or data sources when possible. Include your campaign budget to give judges a sense of scale and comparative impact. And it's very important to say, do not give numbers that are not authentic. That's obvious, but we do see some campaigns trying to give numbers. For example, they have a massive budget for everything else, but they have a small budget for one segment and they try to enter that into the small budget category. The judges are very well versed professionals. They really know their business, they really know what's happening, they know how much a campaign would cost. So trying to outsmart the system gets you disqualified, actually, more than anything. It gets you discredited. It's sort of insulting to people's intelligence, and no one is into that. Our judges are very serious. I've sat in 6 judging rooms so far, and I've always felt the tension of when someone tries to get away with something that is not true, it becomes offensive. So please make sure you're true to format, you're true to your numbers, you're not exaggerating or underplaying anything, because we will see through that. The judges will see through that, and it will lose credibility, even if it was a very viable campaign. Um, Align with your summary. The first 20 to 30 seconds of your video should reinforce the key points of your executive summary. Judges should feel a seamless connection between written and visual storytelling. Because a lot of times when they see a compelling video, they like to go back to the case study and start looking into the details of it. So make sure that they're aligned, make sure that the numbers match. If there is any discrepancy between the numbers that you've stated in your case study and the numbers that are showing on the video, it gets questioned. So make sure that it is actually aligned, please. Tailor the category, as we said. Structure over style. Um, some people make such good videos that they forget the structure of, and it becomes like a campaign ad as well, which is not what is needed. It needs to be interesting, it needs to be structured, and it cannot run like an ad. Support with AI tools. Use AI to help script, summarize, or subtitle your video. Done right, it enhances clarity without sacrificing your creativity. A winning campaign doesn't just perform, it communicates. Your executive summary and video are how you earn the judges' trust and attention. Every campaign in this booklet nailed the balance. Now it's your turn. When you get the booklet, you will be able to actually see the winning campaigns in a little bit more detail. And by the way, if you want, if it's the first time you're submitting, or if you've submitted and it has not been successful, please do visit the Smarties part of our website, mmaglobal.com, and look at the winning campaigns, study them. If you have questions, take the text from there and put it into ChatGPT and tell it, why was this a campaign that won? And it will give you the highlights of why it won. So there are tools, they're all up there for you to use them. Please do. They're much more functional than, calling and asking us. And because we've put all of this information as well as historical information into the AI tool, and that is much more helpful than we can ever be. Um, how, like when we're sitting at the judging table, what drives a winning campaign? Honestly, uh, strong ideas. That is the best way to come out on top. Okay, so mediocre stuff or things that have been done before or Me Too campaigns, they all do not stand out unless they're being seen for the first time. They don't become award winning. You know, if you're just doing something small and it even creates a big result, it has to have a big idea. You know, it's okay to be a small campaign, but it has to be, some part of it has to be groundbreaking. Otherwise, it's not award worthy. You know, it could be a very good campaign. It could have driven sales massively and created a huge lift. But if it didn't break some ground in terms of idea, it doesn't get an award, or it gets a very low score for the awards. Bravery breaks through. The entries often disrupt convention. They're unafraid to challenge norms, using storytelling to reshape expectations. There was a great example of that this year in MENA with the taboo totes. I advise you all to go and watch that. It was one of the most interesting campaigns, and it is really about being brave, even when there was huge backlash from the market. The fact that they went on and neither the brand, neither the agency backed down, it was quite phenomenal to watch. And that is groundbreaking. Fresh yet familiar. Of course, we cannot reinvent the wheel every single time, but having a fresh take on things makes it stand out. Emotional engagement. Always always wins. We're all human. The judging uh, panel is human. So when something is plays on emotions as well as all the other campaign criteria, especially if it's joy, or if it's actually, I would say, even if it's something that makes you sad, if it moves you and if it moves the the industry, it will move the judges too. Personalizing a campaign has to be done at scale. So campaigns that successfully use AI, geo-targeting, and platform integration to deliver tailored experiences at scale showed how data can elevate creativity and connection. This is one of the most important parts of our of the industry right now. What can we do with data? How can it change our lives? This is at the heart of a Smarties award. Okay, so how to leverage that kind of technology and make it work for your campaigns is one of the most interesting things. Having said that, we have a lot of data scientists on our judging tables, and they do not like when the data source is not verified. So please make sure you always verify your data and put some proof and evidence while you're presenting it. So, especially for things like medical or privacy, things that include high privacy and stuff like that, the data there and the source of the data is very important. So, if you have any proof of where the data came from and how it was used, please put it into your case study. That when it's questioned, if it's answered right then and there, people are let go of the credibility of the data source. Okay? Because that is a very big question during the judging tables. Smart integrations between digital and physical worlds really score very high. So, the more touch points you create in a campaign, the more it is likely to win, because someone would have experienced it digitally and then actually went somewhere and experienced it physically, and that created a huger impact and a bigger lift always. So those create bigger wins. Smart targeting over narrowcasting, rather than over segmenting, top campaigns focused on broad relevance and contextual engagement. So creating niches of niches always actually makes a campaign weaker. So make sure that even though it might be a niche, find a way for it to speak to a larger audience, and that would give it a higher potential to win. Intelligent AI integration, effective use of AI wasn't just technical, it was strategic. This is, as I said, the most important thing. AI is not a gimmick anymore. It's not something we're talking about. It's not the future. It's the reality. It's even yesterday's AI becomes obsolete today. So the use of AI is very important, and making it and proving that it was at the heart of your submission actually creates a higher uh, opportunity for winning a Smarties. Branded reinvention, it's more than just novelty. It's about reimagining the brand's role in people's lives. There was great campaigns this year that actually showed how everyone can become an influencer. It was, I think, one of the pizza campaigns that won on that category by making sure that everyone is, reimagining how that brand is working in their life. So it was more than just food. It gave them an extra opportunity, or a new thought. There was so many campaigns in the MENA Smarties that you can actually go and visit and look at which ones won and why they won, and they will all fulfill all of the things that we talked about here today. Results matter, but how you get these matters, how you get there matters more. So every campaign featured will tell you its place through clarity of purpose, bravery of execution, and measurable impact. Again, we'll talk a bit more about something in a minute. What does the jury look for? Uh, so strategy driven thinking. Winning campaigns begin with a powerful strategic foundation, rooted in the consumer insights and aligned with a clear brand or business objective. Entries should not show only what was done, but why it was done. So, demonstrating a coherent approach that links the insights that you get from the market to the execution of your campaign actually tells us and tells the judges that this was done based on what the consumers actually want, or things that they didn't even know they wanted, but when you highlighted it in your campaign, they started seeing it as a must. Measurable results. So, impact must be demonstrated through tangible, quantifiable outcomes. And whoever is here is definitely going to be part of the pre screening as well as the probably final jury. It's very important that whoever's sitting on the pre screening and final jury to have the ability to defend its case. Yes, you cannot vote when you have a conflict of interest, but you can defend your campaign or actually answer questions about it during the pre-screening and the final judging. So make sure that whoever is sitting on that pre-screening or final jury can actually show the results in a very measurable way. Um, Authenticity in local storytelling. Campaigns that win in KSA speak to the heart of the culture. Authenticity is more than tone, it's about understanding and reflecting the nuances of local traditions, values, and behaviors. Jurors reward brands that connect with real people through narratives that feel honest, relatable, and rooted in context. International campaigns that they try to pass on in our region, especially KSA, don't usually work as well as one that starts with the actual culture of the country. So it's very important to always make sure that you are relevant in your authenticity. You are not trying to adapt an international campaign, rather, it's like translating. If you just translate without context, it doesn't work. So, in KSA, especially because it is a very specific market with its very specific culture, more than MENA, for example, because that's more Dubai and other countries where there's a lot more a mix of people, let's say. Saudi is very specific as a market because it is 90%, their own people, their own culture. So make sure it's authentic. Relevance and resonance. So great campaigns are timely and meaningful. They address real needs, solve genuine problems, or reflect prevailing societal conversations. Whether humorous or heartfelt, the work must matter to its audience and stay with them beyond that moment. And finally, tech-powered innovation. Innovation is not only about novelty alone, it's about using technology smartly to deepen engagement. For example, there was a massively successful campaign that was done based on how hot it was. So when a temperature rose to a certain degree, that brand started to advertise their ice cream or their summer coolers. And that was very smart use of technology and AI to actually start sending out this campaign. So this is the SMART framework. And this is usually what guides the jurors to recognize the work that is not only strategically sound and creatively excellent, but also culturally intelligent, result driven, and forward thinking. Campaigns that succeed here don't just follow trends, they set them with purpose, proof, and local power. So, telling a compelling story. Think of your entry as a short story, not a technical report. Skip the jargon and bring your campaign to life through narrative. Like any winning brand, any winning campaign, any winning anything, the story needs to resonate. So, target a broad audience. Our judges come from very diverse marketing backgrounds. Strive for clarity, simplicity, and a smooth reading experience. The substance matters more than any other award campaign, I would say. Clearly showcase your business results with charts or visuals in your video that helps visually seeing the lift. Proofread carefully, make sure you don't have mistakes, misspellings, again, discretions between your case study and your video. Make sure that these do not exist. It's really sad to see campaigns lose credibility over something like that. A polished entry reflects your professionalism, and there are a lot of CMOs on our judging panels. So the agencies that are actually submitting, you are sort of showcasing your work to these potential CMOs who are potential clients for you. So make sure, I mean, we have a lot of times come across, a CMO coming out and saying, who's from so and so agency? We'd like to talk to them, because it's sort of like your what's the right word? Audition. So when you're submitting your campaigns, think that you are pitching to new clients as well. So make sure it is clear, it is beautiful, it is interesting, it is engaging, and it is showcasing your best abilities. Context is king. Judges aren't just looking at raw numbers, they're looking for context. So benchmark your KPIs with the industry standards, highlight your competitive edge, and explain why your campaign mattered. Don't leave questions unanswered. Fill in every section fully and transparently. Take it to the people who are not, or if you have a CMO that is not part of that, show them your video and say, how would you rate this video? It's okay to, run it through some people for context, because sometimes when we're so concentrated on the submission, we have like a checklist, check, 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 but we might miss a story side that, you know, a CMO might catch. So results without comparison, they lack meaning because they're just out of context. Tie them to clear objectives and audience impact always. And again, we cannot highlight enough how important this video is. It can elevate your entry significantly. Keep it under 3 minutes. Everyone gets bored with a very long one. Focus on the idea, not just the visuals. We are not a creative award. We are an award that, you know, rewards the whole campaign, from creative to execution to strategy to results. Summarize the challenge, the strategy, the execution, and results with clarity. Use strong visuals, clean narration, and subtitles if needed. Be mindful of licensing, so music or footage limitations can affect how your video is showcased. This isn't about cinematic quality, it's about clear, compelling communication. Submissions are judged across 4 key criteria: strategy, execution, creativity, business impact. And again, at the heart of all of it is technology. Before you submit, please do get inspired. Visit the Smarties Winners Gallery and MMA Case Study Hubs. See how past winners presented their stories and how they stood out. A winning Smarties submission is a balance of strategy, storytelling, and sharp execution. So we have, actually, before we go there, I'd like to go through the don'ts a little bit. Some things that we saw during our previous judging history that told us definitely don't do this. Don't write only with ChatGPT. Yes, let ChatGPT do the groundwork, but make sure it goes into human format. Okay? Because if it's, I mean, the judges, we're all, you know, quite well versed with ChatGPT, and we know what it can do. It can do better than us most of the time, but again, we're humans and we're looking for a human connection, even on the award level, especially on the award level. So make sure that it's not just chat and it's not just AI that's doing this for you, that the human connection is there. Don't apply with phantom campaigns. This is the biggest no-no. So if you've created a campaign just for the sake of an award and no one has seen it, even if they are not within the, you know, target audience, because sometimes, you know, they're older or younger and they're just not within the target audience. They might have not seen it, but we all have the ability to research whether a campaign really ran enough times to justify what it claims. So we've had more than 6 campaigns who have scored really high in the pre-screening because they didn't do their due diligence in terms of, was this really a phantom campaign or a real campaign, or a campaign that was just, you know, released in a couple of magazines so that they can say it was a real campaign. These got disqualified at the final judging level. So please, please, please make sure that you're not submitting with campaigns that are just created for the sake of an award. It doesn't pass in Smarties. I don't know if it passes in other places. For creativity, that obviously it can be an easier pass, but not for Smarties. The business results have to be authentic. If you make things up, our judges will disqualify, even if it's a good campaign that could have done really great or will do great in the future. If you're making up the results, it gets disqualified. Making sure you're in the right category is everything. Honestly, if you're not in the right category, it gets thrown out. Or they say, okay, great campaign. I wish they had applied in, I don't know, high, small budget, big impact, or something like that. And we cannot at that point do anything to help that campaign. Even though it might have been award winning on other levels, if it's in the wrong category, it will not get an award in that category. Um, an absolute must is adjusting the case studies. If you're applying with one campaign to more than one category, the case study is an absolute must that you adjust the narrative of that case study to its relevant category. So if you can adjust the video, please do so. If you can adjust the information on the video, even if it's the same video in terms of visual, but at least the information that is subtitled there about, the numbers or the relevance of the category, please make sure you do that. It's an investment of time and effort that makes a huge difference in winning. And don't apply with the same campaign if there are no new results. Okay, so we have a small overlap in our categories this year, in our eligibility period this year. Our eligibility period for 2023 awards, which were given out last year, was September 22 to December 23. And this year, our eligibility is from September 23 to May 2025. So we have 3 months of September, October, November, and December, 4 months, sorry, of eligibility overlap. Unless there are new results or you've done something or it has run in a different way in the second quarter or whatever it is, please make sure that you do not apply with old information. That also does not get awards. Even if you got an award last year because it was great and you created such high lift, even if it happened between September and December, if there is nothing new in it, it will not get an award again. And it usually gets discarded, to be honest. So please make sure that when you're applying with fresh information, with fresh case study, with a fresh video. If it's been seen before and it was exactly the same, it does get disqualified. So we will be having a pre-screening jury online. That's going to happen between the 7th and 8th of September. All entries are initially evaluated by the pre-screening jury, composed of experienced marketing professionals and industry leaders across the region. In this phase, entries are first scored individually based on SMARTIES criteria, so there's strategy, measurability, authenticity, relevance, and technology. Jurors can come together for a discussion session to exchange perspectives on the top performing cases. Through scoring and collective deliberation, the highest scoring and most promising entries are shortlisted for the final round. It's very important here to actually highlight that the pre-screening jury, actually, when they come to the discussion points, they are allowed to change their scoring. But what's important is that they come to the pre-screening phase with enough knowledge. So they should have seen all of the campaigns that are in their category. And we always ask our pre-screening jury to actually go through the full category submissions before they start with their scoring. And then based on the top 5 or top 6, depending on how big the category is, sometimes it goes to top 10. It goes into the final jury phase. So the shortlisted entries are reviewed by the final jury made up of senior executives and experts representing leading brands, agencies, and media platforms. In this phase, finalists are re-evaluated independently and in more depth. Final jurors score the entries based solely on their own assessment, independent of prior scoring rounds. So if the pre-screeners actually gave something, I don't know, a 12, and they do not agree with that, they do have the right to give the final vote. Based on final scoring, gold, silver, and or bronze awards are assigned where deemed appropriate by the jury. Not all categories are required to have a winner in each award tier. So if there's a lot of submissions in AI, but no one really used AI, no one's getting an award for it because we do not reward, you know, mediocre. That's not going to happen. So this two-step evaluation ensures every submission receives thoughtful, multi-layered, and objective consideration, allowing Smarties KSA to honor only the most deserving and exceptional work. Anyone that ever sat on our jury would know how true to format we are. So please make sure that it is authentic all the way. So this is the team that's working on the MENA KSA, sorry, the Smarties KSA Smarties Awards. So there's Melis, who's the CEO. There's Zainab, who's our marketing director. There's me, business development and growth director, and then there's Melike, who's our marketing operations executive. So please reach out to us at any time for any extra questions. I will now I will stop sharing and open this to questions. Do we have any questions in the chat?
No, have it.
Okay. Anyone here? Do we have any questions? If we are good, we can finish this. By the way, we are going to be sending a booklet with all this information in it. Please share it with your teams. Share it with your clients so that they can also know what creates a Smarties award. And if you have any questions, please drop us an email and we'll be happy to oblige. And make sure your submissions are done on time. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Kapatsak mı?
Evet.
Tamam, I'm leaving.
No, no, don't go.
Okay.
Bülent kapatabilir misin?